I would like to call the December 7th board meeting to order. I would like to thank stakeholders for joining us this evening. Roll call, all board members are present. Please stand for the pledge and invocation.
Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing.
Praise the Heavenly Father. Thank you for this beautiful day, and thank you for those that are here, and be with our school board as we make decisions for the school as we go forward. Be with our parents, teachers, and through the Christmas holidays, keep them safe, and the students, and just thank you for the grace and mercy you show us each day. Amen.
Amen.
At this time, the board would like to recognize Dr. Ramucci for Superintendent's Week. Thank you for your commitment.
You are so kind. Thank you so much. Ooh, my favorite round day.
No, I already know.
Thank y'all. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's beautiful.
All right. Can I get please review the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Can I get a second?
I second.
It's been moved by Richard Boggs, seconded by George Evans to approve the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Superintendent's report.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I want to start with student recognition. So if Maxon Burton's in, if he'll come forward. He is a second grade student at Hayes Cooper who has just written and published his first book.
Right.
It's a children's color and activity book called God is With Me. It was released in December, right? December 1st. He's an accomplished Hayes Cooper student, receiving the highest average in language last year and the second highest average in reading, and he is also an honor roll student.
All right.
Oh, look, he's got it on his shirt too. So,
And he has some for sale if anybody want to buy.
that's right. Do you want to tell them anything about your book? Where they can buy it?
You can buy it, you can pre-order it at squarespace.com.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Squarespace.com.
What inspired you to become an author?
Because I want people to read my book and feel motivated and know all God is always with them.
Thank you, Ms. Lamastus. We have some students that we want to recognize tonight for scoring gold on their fall assessment of the work keys. If Tiona Thomas will come up first. She was 2 points away from a perfect score.
All right, Tiana.
Smile about. Hold on. Get this. Right. Hold on. Let me get the glasses off. Great job. Great job. Jayla Bennett. You get in here, go ahead and get your medal. Great job. Jayla Johnson. Everybody, Jayla. won't be here tonight, but we want to make sure we say her name. Thank you. Also, sit down for a trip. Student ADA, the highest ADA was Hayes Cooper with 94.7, and then the middle school at 90.87. Thank y'all for coming. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And then have a word about it.
Oh. Well, our ADA is way below our. Congratulations.
I thought you told me he was gonna.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, we got one more.
I got you.
Okay. Yay. This is Mary Gallion. She also scored a gold. Let's get your medal on. She was 4 points away from a perfect score. Great job. We're so proud of you. That's okay.
Move it up. Okay. Any public comment?
I wouldn't finish.
Well, you.
We don't have anybody else. On the ADA, for student ADA, first was Hayes Cooper in the elementary, and the high school was the middle school and high school together. The middle school was 90.87. If you saw Naylor's being low, they had a lot of flu and RSV going on. That's why theirs was at 86.56. But if you'll look, she's now giving you the percent of ADA and whether it increased or decreased from last year.
All right, oh, what's our stated goal for the district for?
94.
94%. And we only have 2 schools that are currently above 94%. Is there a plan in place at each school to?
When you have the flu and
I
RSV,
understand that, but there's still.
we are
absences.
working. So the middle school had an event the other night. They had 110 students with perfect attendance. They had an attendance matter night. Each school is doing events to bolster ADA. And so yes, I would say yes, there is a plan. I think our teacher ADA looks good. Yes, the student ADA needs a little work, but again, it is what it is this time.
Well, I mean, with the teachers, we implemented the extra days off.
Right, and
Yeah.
they're doing stuff at each school as well. We have sent out intent forms, and they have been returned to the central office, and so far, we don't look like we're needing, just a few people have submitted that they're not returning, so I was real pleased with the results of that, and that's all I have.
The intent forms normally go out this time of year? I thought that went out in February.
You can wait till February.
Yeah, it's normally December.
Do what?
Plans to have contracts out in February.
Well, you can't issue contracts until they vote on the MAEP.
You could do it based on last year's numbers, okay?
And you know, the session doesn't end until April.
Right.
Right, so we always issue
We
contracts.
have to issue contracts 10 days after the close of the session.
And this is a long one, isn't it?
Yes. It's not a long
That's
session.
law that we
Yeah,
have.
that's when we, but the sooner we get them under contract, of course,
The better.
the better. Is what most districts
I'll move
are
into-
moving to, getting contracts out earlier and earlier each year. Last year, I think we got them out at the end of March, maybe. We want to bump it up this year, kind of get them out a little earlier so we can get people under contract
So
sooner.
your fear is, you know, that they don't fully fund the MAEP and you've got contracts issued and you don't have as much money coming in.
So fully funded MAP, they use our December 1 snapshot to get those numbers, so that would have passed already. And so we know what that December 1 personnel snapshot looks like.
Okay.
And so we kind of use those numbers to kind of estimate what our student ADA, our teacher ADA would have been to kind of put in those calculations, so.
All right. Are there any other questions for the superintendent? Okay, business department, Ms. Pulley.
All right, good evening. I have attached the monthly financial reports for your review. I have the October 2023 statement of income, the budget status reports, the statement of fund balances, our expenditure reports, cash flow reports, and our bank reconciliations. And for our district maintenance bank account for the month of October, we had a district fund balance of $12,416,716. We spent a total of $2,445,722. And the amount of revenue we brought in was $1,884,905. We also fully reconciled our food service bank account. Their fund balance at the end of October was $505,832. They spent $1,061,097, and they brought in $285,223. So as you notice the big difference in the food service fund balance, they finally paid off the cafeteria renovations invoices, and that's where they're sitting comfortably. They're expected to have about 2 to 3 months of operating revenue in their fund balance, and that's what they have.
All right, are there any questions for the business department? Okay, curriculum updates.
Good evening, everyone. Attached are the curriculum updates. Upcoming events, our schools have completed their school level spelling bees, and we are now going to move forward with our district level spelling bee, which will also serve as our Bolivar County spelling bee. We will be the only district that will be participating in that spelling bee. It will take place on January the 17th at 9 o'clock a.m. Cleveland Central High School Auditorium, and we would love for everyone to attend and help root our students on. Our top winners will move on to the semifinal round, which will take place online, and then they could possibly move forward to participate in the state competition. Also attached, we have our HQIM proposal through Kids First. We met with them as a district level team on last week to discuss our needs, any progress that was displayed. And I would say just meeting with the principals, talking to students, we have seen a significant gain in not only student confidence, but in their proficiency as well as their growth. Mrs. Johnson did utilize Kids First, not just for HQIM, but she utilized them to pull out students because, they completed their, are still in the process of completing their ELCs this week. The students gave positive feedback. They discussed how much they learned from those consultants, especially in the areas of algebra, how they came in and supported them with being able to utilize the calculator on the Algebra 1 test. So we received positive feedback from not only the consultants, but our middle level administrators. So we're looking forward to continuing that partnership for the spring semester. I know that we always discuss return on investment. So our students are currently taking their iReady diagnostics this week, and they will take their benchmark assessments the week of December the 11th through the 18th, so we can progress monitor and pretty much project what our accountability rating would be currently. January 4th, we have some district-wide professional development plans. We have sessions that will focus on assisting our teachers with analyzing iReady MOI diagnostic data. One of our areas of concern was K2 foundational skills. So I reached out to MDE, and they will be facilitating a K2 foundational skills session, and that will not just be for K2 teachers. I also included our MTSS specialists because they play a big role in providing remediation and intervention for our students who need the extra push. Also, a new initiative that we're undertaking is allowing our 11th grade students this year to complete the ACT work keys, because that plays a role in the accountability model. And we are working with a company to assist us with tracking that data and monitoring that data. That way, they'll have a better projection of how many accountability points they're receiving or going to receive, instead of waiting on MDE to give them final report in the summer or waiting until August and September. And last but not least, Naval Elementary just took on the initiative to progress monitor their students more frequently. So they completed their Start Early literacy assessments, kindergarten through second grade. And I will say that we are seeing significant gains, especially in the area of kindergarten. So instead of those students taking placement or diagnostic assessment in August, September, and waiting until April and May to get the results back, they're actually taking the Start Early literacy assessment throughout the school year. And then we can run reports and identify any areas of weaknesses and provide support to those students. And that's it for first one.
Thank you, Ms. Collins. Are there any questions for Mrs. Stiles?
What grade was it? It's gonna be, what grade level?
K-8.
Can't do it.
Okay. You can go ahead and then we'll go do federal program.
Okay, just wanted to inform you all that the FY23 single audit is underway. The auditors arrived yesterday. They'll finish up tomorrow. So far, it's going good. They've completed most of our samples, and they're using our exit interview from OSA, our exit audit from OSA, to kind of check findings from that and testing the corrections that we've made. So anything that they find that we have not corrected, it'll be a repeat. But so far, it has been good. I just wanted to update you all on that.
All right, thank you. Federal program.
Good evening. Just a few things. School-wide plans are due to the State Department sometime next week. I have had in-person training with all the principals, and also had many virtual sessions with each principal that signed up, so they could get a more personal review of that. School-wide plan is basically the schools putting a plan behind the money that's already been approved for Title I schools. And I'll be reviewing those. I gave the principals the rubric, and I'll be using the rubric and providing some feedback prior to the submission to the State Department. Also, we're waiting on the Office of School Improvement to give us an allocation and an application for our 2 schools in school improvement. That will be Cleveland Central Middle School. They should receive at least $100,000, and Pyramid Elementary, they should receive at least $40,000. So we're kind of waiting on those. I see they're kind of a little bit behind on sending that out, so it may be in the winter or early spring, but those funds will be something we'll be able to utilize to increase student achievement at those 2 schools. Also, I have some documentation to submit to the State Department for carryover. Our initial carryover projections do look really well, but due to us not having the request done yet, it's something they do every year. We have to submit them our expenditure reports from July, August, and September, and also a PO, the bills we've already paid. So that's due by the 12th, and I'm already looking at some of that, so I have that submitted, so I'll provide you all an update a little bit later on. The district did meet comparability for this school year. Comparability is something that I have to report to the state. Basically, what it does is it compares Title I schools and non-Title I schools, and you can use personnel base, kind of trying to see do you have the same amount of staff in the Title I schools and non-Title I schools, making sure everything is equal and equitable across the schools. Last one is...
What do you normally find? There's the Title I schools, all of our schools are Title I now, aren't they?
Except Hayes
Hayes
School.
School.
Yes, sir.
So you're looking to make sure that staff is highly qualified and and all that as compared to,
Yes, sir. We have to put all that in there. If, you get certain, weights for, teachers, librarians, teacher assistants, so we had to put the whole roster in as far as everybody except, like cafeteria and custodians and secretaries. But anybody that provides support to students, we have to put those people in, and it's a spreadsheet they send us, a formula. Once you put the numbers in, the numbers hit green, you good. Your numbers hit red, you got a problem. And all the numbers green, I reviewed them, signed off on them, put the documentation in the folder, Dr. Vermouth signed it, sent it to them, they sent us a letter back, probably a couple weeks ago, saying everything was fine.
Great.
Yeah, and we're working on spending all the FY '23, by March, and we're gonna spend down '24, before carryover. Thank you.
How are we with our ESSA funds? Are we,
I was just about to update you on.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
ESSA 2, we did not spend just $155. Now, I'd like to spend all the money, but because I had just done a revision, and where the money was left at, we couldn't spend it. It was $755 and some change, like 33 cents or something like that. But all of the millions, they gone. But yes.
They have not been liquidated, so we applied for an extension
Right.
on ESSER funds. We're looking at probably $850,000 that's left to be requested after I just requested on yesterday. I think I did about a $3.5 million request yesterday on all projects, liquidation projects, just to make sure.
Yeah.
We did not, I think the most money we had left over was like $30,000 left in one of our projects. But that's the biggest number. Everything else, we had small numbers, $25 here, $7 here, $2.55 here. It was just small stuff, but I think totally it's about $30,000 across all.
and that was in construction, not in construction, not instruction.
No, all.
Oh,
About 30,000 across FY
As all
21,
of-
title, sped, ESSER, art.
Everything.
Yeah, not art, but yeah, ESSER too. So I think we did good considering how much money we had left at the beginning of the year. So we're sitting in a comfortable spot. We may have to do one more request. MD is allowing us to do one more request before December 30th. And so that's some of it is on this docket. And so I'll request those probably before we get out on the 19th or the 20th, just to make sure. And anything else that comes in late that we can request and go and pay out, I'll put it on a weekly docket until we meet again in January.
okay, thank you. Are there any questions for federal program or any additional financial questions? All right. District operations, Mr. Johnson.
All right, so on our ESSA projects, ESSA 2, we have completely closed ESSA 2 HVAC out, so all the units are installed and all our thermostats are, and they're working. So
We
we're
go back to playing ball in the gym.
with this ESSA 3, we have.
We're coming.
On that
All we lack is, the partitions in the bathroom
for
for the gym.
Because we have here.
Yes.
Student desk came in, that was part of ESSA 2, some funds that we had left over. So y'all should see those pictures. It was 450 desks at the high school. So they are setting them up. I'm not sure how far they are on completing the setup on all classrooms. And so you see the restrooms for the gym. We just lacking partitions. So hopefully by January, we'll be playing ball back in our
It's supposed to be about this week.
We got a game on the 28th, so I'm hoping by December 28th.
Mr. Johnson, in January or maybe February, give it to February, I want a report on how those desks and chairs are doing with the rollers on them.
Now, the desk can lock, it's the
They
chairs
can?
that, yeah,
They
the desk can lock, so it's the chairs that we're gonna really watch.
They look very nice.
The gym units are installed, they did have an issue with the power. I think the current power units were high voltage, too high for the new units, so they gonna switch those out. As soon as they switch those out, those gym units will be good to go. And it shouldn't cost us anything extra. I verified it today, so that'll be on them to make this switch. There won't be a change with it. And other than that, we have our soft washing and continued. I put pictures in there so you can see the difference.
Who's doing the
High school
washing?
and
Stripe it
middle
up.
school.
They're doing a good job.
And then I included the ESSA 3 report from Sullivan, so you can kind of see what the timeline. So all the HVAC units for ESSA 3 are in, but what they're experiencing right now is labor issue, where they have manpower to get the units installed. So we do have the rooftops for the high school, but he said as soon as they get workers, they will get back on getting those installed. And I think the only thing lacking on the roof is the gutters in the faces. So once they finish there, they'll be completely finished. And I will yield the rest of my time to Dr. Davis. He will come to speak to you about the Wolfpack Wellness Program.
Well, good evening.
Good evening.
Hey,
It's really good to be here, and I appreciate you letting us be a part of your district. We are happy to report that our Wolfpack Wellness project that's underway at the middle school did receive $187,000 from the Baldwin Medical Foundation. We had asked for $5.4 million. You know what they say, right? Go in hot. We went in real hot. They came back cold. But we had a good meeting with Dr. Bermucci over the summer. They asked us to rephase and break out each component. There are 3 major components to this Wolfpack Wellness project. One is the renovation of the track so that the students can use the track and field during physical education and after school and community use, obviously for walking. And then we were going to install the fitness equipment around the track. The secondary aspect was the after-school intramural sports program, which we will still push forward. I have a meeting tomorrow with Blue Cross Blue Shield Foundation to look at some options there. But the third installment, which is really one of the more relevant installments for this area, is the Agricultural Science and Garden Project, which you all know we're really invested in. We have at Bell, and we're starting some things at Hayes Cooper. I know Holly is starting some things at Parks as well. So if you look at your cover sheet, the $187,000 was earmarked and line item budget for this comprehensive, agricultural science partnership, community-wide. It's really exciting. Tammy Marlowe, your award-winning science teacher, has already started an after-school garden club, which is extremely popular with our students. She has anywhere between 25 to 30 students weekly, growing and eating crops out of the back areas of the middle school. They had all the soil tested for pH from Stoneville, and it came back as some of the most really prevalent soil we have in the district, or in the region. So we want to continue doing some pH soil mitigation back there, and as you remember from the plans that we provided to you in May or April, we have these STEM research bed gardens that will be created. We're going to work with Walter Quinn over at Votech and have those students help build the actual beds, the raised beds. We will provide all the lumber, of course, and we've partnered with Plumbing Lumber to be a sort of a nonprofit educational institution so we can get lumber cheaper through them. We've partnered with, so we have a advisory council already for this project. And your former superintendent, Dr. Thigpen, is going to help chair that council. So I think we're moving quite along, but I'm here to answer any questions that you might have. I've been working hand in hand with Mr. Johnson and, of course, Dr. Bermucci, and then, of course, Mrs. Sparks. I don't think she made it tonight, but...
They have a game.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, Ms. Sparks, Mr. Strong, Ms. Marlowe, Krista Davis, who's your district garden and bell coordinator, Ryan Betts, who is the farm to school and the farmers market director, and his wife Kelsey, who's a data analyst and grant writer. Chris Johnson, who's the Delta Fresh Foods Director, which was also funded by Baller Medical Foundation. So, I mean, we've kind of tied everything in for this project, and, I mean, we're thrilled. We really wanted 1.6 million, but we're gonna take 187,000. So, I'm here to answer any questions you might have off your top sheet. But as far as, I mean, Mr. Johnson and I are working, again, like I said, hand in hand, and working with the schools to make sure everything's in line. We had Raymond Herta come out yesterday to look at the new barn facility that we'll have installed at the at middle school. That'll hold all the equipment and gear, which is a lot of stuff that we'll be having over there to make sure we have, you know, proper education. And Kathy was supposed to meet with the district. She's trying to look at ways that we can embed different curriculum using the garden like we do at Bell, throughout math, art, you know, all the things that we can do to get the kids out in the garden and getting their hands dirty. Water and power is the only thing that we're looking at right now from the district side. But we had yesterday, the gentleman, the foreman, came out and looked at some ways to tap into the current water supplies since they're already under construction. And he thinks it's gonna be easy with upchurch plumbing just to tap in and get us a water faucet up there. So, other than that, things are fantastic.
Awesome.
Awesome,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your hard work.
So I think the only thing that would be left, and hopefully we'll have this sometime in January, is just an MOU between the Cleveland School Districts and the Friends of Cleveland. Hopefully, I know, Ms. Luciana is not here, but maybe to help meet with their attorney just to draw, so we can have that standard agreement.
Sounds good.
I want to commend you on how this group has functioned, as far as getting together a plan, writing a grant, getting people to buy in, community people to buy in to serve on the board.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what we need more of.
Sure.
And I'm very pleased that we have people who have committed to this. Commit.
Yes.
Commit.
Our key word.
And your social media, that is
Right.
Yeah.
fabulous.
Right.
Well, we're here to support you. I mean, we've always been here to support it. We just found ways to do it different. So,
Yeah,
appreciate it.
excellent.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
You will hear this slide later on the agenda, there on the agenda.
Okay, all right. Okay, are there any questions for operations? If not, can I get a motion to approve the report, the cabinet updates and reports?
I so moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Then moved by Lucille Holmes, seconded by Richard Boggs to accept the cabinet updates. Approval of the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Can I get a second? It's been moved by Richard Boggs, seconded by Lucille Holmes to approve the consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried.
Dang it, I didn't look at that. Hold on. Hold on.
You're looking at the date,
Yeah.
the third,
It just,
third Thursday, I think it is.
oh,
January 18th.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a, yeah, I leave the 19th going to San Diego, but,
You know, you can get your bags packed.
I gotta be at the airport at 5:30, George, in the morning.
Get up
You gonna
early.
take me?
Get up early. Yeah.
I gotta be there
I
at
think it's
5:30.
midnight.
All right, that's good, let's leave it there.
Can we do it at 5 o'clock instead of 6 then?
No, I'll just leave it at 6. I can make it work.
You sure?
Yeah, I just have to get, can I request the district van and one of y'all drive me?
Yeah,
Bye.
you
I ain't
requested.
going to jail for it. I'll take
Charles,
it.
you wanna make a trip to Memphis?
You're on TV, Rick.
Where you
It's all right.
Okay.
San Diego.
Can I get a motion to approve the next meeting for January 18th at 6 p.m.?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
I second.
It has been moved by George Evans, seconded by Lucille Holmes, for January 18th at 6 p.m. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval of the docket and claims docket.
I only got one question. and it's an easy one, I think. It's page 22. I didn't understand that.
Okay.
Page 22.
Here it is, because I had something on it too.
I didn't understand the way it was, it's probably something very simple.
Just
It's
page
page
22.
22 right there.
Yeah, it says average
Oh,
daily
got it.
enrollment,
Wait, which one you on?
claim number 430435. Globalindustrial.com,
Oh,
water
you talking about that fund?
fountains.
Water fountain.
That's the fund, that average, that's the ADM money that MDE gave us extra when they allotted 100 million
Okay,
spread
okay.
across the district. So that money is
So we
earmarked
bought
for
water fountains.
certain things, yes.
All right, right below that, it says wholesale powertrain,
Mhm.
and that's out of district maintenance. Is that something for the bus department? What was that?
Let me pull it up.
It's, 430436 is the claim number. It
Mr.
just,
Alexander,
so that must have been an engine or drive, something for the buses?
yeah, it was a repair.
Okay, that was only two I had, Madam
Okay.
President.
Okay, and I just wanted to bring note to some September invoices that are on there.
Mhm.
We need to be mindful of those.
We did.
Getting
One
bills
of
paid.
them was from curriculum. It was, we didn't receive all the product. They sent the invoice before they shipped everything. We didn't want to pay for items that we didn't have. So that was the holdup on that one.
I actually missed that one, but the ones I was referring to was, it's on page 22.
Oh, yeah, that's
Water
water
trucks.
trucking. Yeah,
And then Dawkins on page 24.
so, okay. Water's trucking. Enter our invoices by the date the bus is entered in or the date the repair instead of the date they actually age.
Okay.
So I talked to them about that, but I can explain that to the auditors.
Okay.
If it becomes a problem. And
Dawkins office supply.
it
Okay.
was, and although our purchase orders say no back orders, they still send it. And so I think this was some of that old money.
Okay,
It would.
all right.
I'll make a motion to approve. If everybody's through. You through?
Yeah, George has to recuse himself from the approval of the docket.
Okay. Please note that Mr. Evans recused himself from the claim document. Walking mighty slow.
It's for
Before
claim,
you go, over there.
the claim number is 430341 on the claims list. Okay, can I get a motion to approve the claims docket?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
It has been moved by Richard Boggs, seconded by Debbie Farinelli to approve the claims docket. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried.
Judge, come back in.
Approval of financial services for W-2 and 1099 processing for district funds.
Yes, of course, we have two new employees, one in payroll and one in AP, and both of those 1099s and W-2s are due by January 31st. I can only help one at a time, and I don't want to miss anything, and I was seeing if I could ask the board for approval to get some assistance at $75 per hour
What I got to do?
to approve the consultant.
Madam Superintendent, is this what you want? Do we need this?
Yes, if Ms. Pulley says she needs it, I agree.
Well, I'm asking you.
Yep, I said I agree.
Up to what amount?
$1,500.
1,500?
1,500 is put on there.
All right, can I get a motion to approve the request for the W-2 and 1099 processing?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It has been moved by George Evans, seconded by Richard Bobs to approve financial services for W-2 and 1099 processing. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval of fixed asset disposal. Do you all have any questions regarding that? All right. Can I get a motion to approve?
I so move.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Lucille Holmes, seconded by George Evans to approve fixed asset disposal. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval to apply for an educator in residence. Do you all have any questions regarding that?
We already have one that's been in the district. She was a district employee, now she's an MDE employee.
To go to the home.
They work for MDE with doing whatever, I mean, literacy, whatever, it just depends on what. This person has been one before and is a district employee, and she's just trying to apply. I don't know if she'll get it or not, but she's requesting to apply.
And if approved, we pay them, they're part of our payroll, but they work for MDE. And MDE reimburses us up to $55,000 plus benefits of their salary.
Okay.
So it doesn't have the person's name here, we're just asking for somebody, and then we would nominate them.
Right.
Move approved.
Can I get a second?
I second it.
It's been moved by George Evans, seconded by Debbie Farinelli to approve the educator in residence application. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval of Snyder Construction and Energy Services contract.
Anybody look at it?
Katie, you good?
Arnold, look
Were
at
you
it?
gonna, did you have something to say? Okay.
You look at it?
Charles, this is,
Yeah, we're gonna, kind of discuss, we, I think, had a couple of changes that we looked at today that we wanted to, Ms. Fuller had concerns about as far as the, I think the 20 years is trying to reduce it and reduce some of the costs, but I think they have agreed to contract. The only thing in the contract is with the amounts would change, that's the only thing that would change.
so
We
what is
need
the recommendation? Is for us to approve it, pending the pending
Pending
the
the
changes?
changes.
Are these changes something that's gonna hold it up big time? Or are you just being made aware of the changes now?
No, so basically what we're talking about is, we're gonna have two agreements actually. So we have our construction agreement, which is on your agenda today. And then after that, you will be voting on a finance agreement from a lender. And so I got some proposed, amortizations, because you can borrow money for up to 20 years, and she's wanting to do more of a 15-year amortization. So we need to just get a different amortization around that. Also, we were looking at removing like one scope item, I think. It's just the capital asset planning system, which is inventorying all of your HVAC. So the cost is gonna go down roughly about $100,000. So right now it's 4.6 million, and it'll be around 4.5 million. And that's
So
the project.
do
that
we
we're
need to
doing.
wait to approve this?
No, the price should still be within the amount of debt that's rolling off in 2024.
Okay. So, I just don't wanna, if we got changes that we wanna make, then they need to agree to changes, or the financial institution needs to agree to
The
changes.
scope of the project wouldn't change much at all. I
The
think
scope's
it-
not gonna change, but the
The amount would
financing.
not increase.
It's
And all
not
we're talking
gonna
about is going
increase.
from a 20-year note to a 15-year note.
And that
We're
would be
not
an,
approving the amortization schedule tonight, no.
and that would be an additional
That's
finance
correct.
agreement.
That's
That's
right.
not in front of you guys right
We're
now.
not approving that tonight.
But I
This is-
agree, I think it should be subject to the price change or the scope change when we make the motion.
But the scope changes in the agreement we're about to approve.
Yes, because the only thing that hadn't been removed is that particular scope.
Which one is it, Charles?
Let me tell you, on page 2 of the contract, I know you don't have the contract
Oh,
in
no,
front of you,
okay.
but if you did have it, basically the project cost is gonna go down from 4.611.
It's in, on our,
To full
I think
point.
it's page 2.
okay,
And his?
No, page 2
On
of the
our-
contract.
Oh, okay.
on the computer.
Not what we're looking at.
Right, so the
There's
price-
$100,000 difference.
It'll be, it'll go down from 4.4611535 to 4.58 and some change. Okay, so just that one thing's changing. And then if you go down to, towards the back in the contract, construction addendum number 1, There's Schedule A, which is a scope of work. Actually, is it even in there?
No, it's in Schedule C, D, so in the back of the contract. we'll
Right.
take out-
We're going to eliminate like a couple of sentences that tells you that we're gonna be inventorying your HVAC equipment. So we're removing one scope of work and we're changing the price. This is something we've talked about with the team. We said, if this doesn't meet the financial goals of what everybody wants to do, what do you wanna get rid of? And everybody has agreed that it would be that capital asset planning. It's just, we had gotten together to finalize it before I was able to get that contract in your agenda.
Charles?
I think it might be in our best interest that we wait until things are finalized before we approve a contract. What are your thoughts?
Approve with changes.
The only change that's coming out is the capital asset planning piece. And I guess what we could do is, because we're not having another board meeting before, then,
I wrote down you have a board meeting on January 18th. So there's one other thing that you will have to get board approved, which is the finance agreement.
Right.
And of course, they're gonna have to look at that and work through it. So, what I would like to do is, it would be in your best interest, you don't have to get board approval of it, but once we get it where you like it, for you to just say you accept the term sheet. And then for you guys to, I guess.
Do it and put it in our minutes.
Yes, because you got a really, really good rate, and, it's just a good rate, and we don't know what's gonna happen in January, so I think you should lock it in. He's gonna lock it for up to 60 days.
How much?
Charles, what do you think? What's your recommendation?
I say that we at least approve it pending the.
You're good with that, board attorney?
Yeah, I think so, as long as we make it clear what,
The changes are.
yeah.
Approve
Okay,
it.
so in that motion, be specific, whoever's gonna make
I'll
that
make a
motion.
motion that,
Okay,
approve
I'm
the-
sorry, hold on,
Go
hold
ahead,
on.
go ahead, David.
I have a question, and I may be way off in left field, but I'm just looking at the overview. As far as athletics, some improvements were made for lighting at the high school, but not the middle school. Some improvements on the fencing were to be made at the high school, but not the middle school. Could we use some of that $100,000 to maybe look at those projects at the middle school?
You know, I don't, and correct me if I'm wrong, but junior high, or whatever that's called, junior high football, for half the season is played without lights because of the time that they start. So you're only talking maybe about 1 or 2 games. And those lights are pretty new over there.
What about the fencing? And maybe that's
Now,
why it's
fencing,
not.
I don't know, I cannot
So the
comment.
fencing
Mark.
of this project was for security reasons. It wasn't just like to secure the campus, so many exit entry.
You have like 2 campuses, or the old high school
Right.
and the new one, you have a
Yeah.
road going down the middle of it, and there's so many entry points. So
Mhm.
that's why maybe that one was bigger priority.
It was a priority.
Yeah, and you didn't want it to look like a jail, so we made it pretty and decorative up front, because it's in such a good, location. But there are plans for another phase. For instance, there is a tax incentive where you can get up to $5 per square foot of energy efficiency renovations. Obviously, taxable entities can take that on your behalf and then share it to you as a credit on your next phase of work. Lighting is the perfect application of that, because your lighting that we're doing is going to be covering a lot of square footage. And so there are additional ways to pursue doing forward lighting if you wanted to, or other scopes of work if you want to. But this, we've worked on really finalizing this list for a while with your team, because we looked at a much broader scope of things, and then we whittled it down
Yep.
to just the most.
Yeah, like I said, sometimes I go into.
This is a good question.
But I do have another question. If Focus is going to be building some kind of a structure to store all of the equipment that they're purchasing, could we put fencing around the structure so that there would be a double layer of security? Or do you
That
think
could
that's?
possibly be a
There's
district
already
cost.
a fence that goes from that locks on each side. It's already there.
Where is that?
So like like if you're coming in back to go to the gym,
Right,
that blocks completely. And
okay.
then on the right side, on the far right, all the way to the back, there's another fence that locks right there.
Right, there's a fence between the school property and the neighborhood, right?
Yes, and it needs some work.
Right.
On the left side, in some spots, it's
Yeah.
really, we've been talking about that.
Okay, I'll leave it to you.
It's horrible.
All right, so the motion needs to include pending finance changes, is that how would we word that, or how would we word that?
Just pending the removal of the capital asset planning piece.
Okay. My motion
And
is,
that, the pricing.
And
so-
reflecting the cost.
are you ready for the motion?
I am.
I'll make a motion to approve, Snyder Construction and Energy Services contract pending
Removal of the capital asset
removal of
planning from the
capital
price
asset
and scope
planning
of work.
and scope of work.
Okay, can I get a second?
Go, George.
Second.
It has been moved by Richard Box, seconded by George Evans, to approve the Snyder, construction contract with the addendums. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Approve of independent roofing systems contract with CSD. Is that,
Alright, so, you know, last month we finalized everything for the insurance, so this is just the actual contract from the contractor and our architect. So this is JBHM, they will be the architect of record for the roofing project, and this is the contract with, independent roof.
Arnold, look at it. I move we approve.
can I get a second?
Second.
It has been moved by George Evans, seconded by Richard Box, to approve the independent roofing systems contract. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Approve of CSD pre-K handbook for 24-25 school year. Are there any questions regarding that
Is
handbook?
this new, or is this new?
Yes, it's a new one, and we added some things in there just to make sure that we were covered based off the issues we saw that come up this year.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It has been moved by Richard Box, seconded by George Evans, to approve the pre-K handbook. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval of Kids First proposal for service for HQMI grant.
We only did them for so many months, right?
Mhm.
And now, so that's up.
HQAM,
No, Kids First.
Kids First.
Kids First, they're up now, and then we're moving over.
This is for, we exhausted all year 2 funds, so now we're moving into year 3 funds.
Oh, this is just the funds?
Yes,
Okay, I thought we were, okay, never mind, go ahead.
Move we approve.
Can I get a second? Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
It has been moved by George Evans, seconded by Debbie Farinelli, to approve the Kids First proposal for service. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval of Delta Fresh Foods Initiative, MOU. Are there any questions regarding that? If not, can I get a motion to approve? No cost to the district.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
second.
It's been moved by George Evans, seconded by Lucille Holmes, to approve Delta Fresh Foods Initiative. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Approve of the revisions to policy JE cell phone devices. Did you all have a chance to review that revision? Are there any questions?
No.
Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
I second.
Moved by Richard Box, seconded by George Evans, to approve the policy update. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Remove from table and approval of the November policies review.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
I second.
Been moved by Richard Box, seconded by George Evans, to remove from table the November policies. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Discussion.
I got one question.
Okay.
I'm back on the Chromebooks. If they take them home and lose them, what happens?
We got an insurance policy.
We got insurance, or
They
they have to pay?
They have to pay a
It's
fee.
$25, isn't
It's like 20, I think it's $25.
20, but they pay up front
And if
in
they,
case they lose.
if it's stolen, they have to put in a police report.
Yeah.
And then, but if they lose it, it's a $25 fee.
If it's stolen,
But they pay the $25 before they take it
Up
home.
front.
If they take
Okay.
it home, they pay the 25,
Right.
but if they lose it, they have, it's in that list,
okay,
I have to look at it to see.
as long as we covered.
Yes, sir.
All right, discussion and table for December policies review. I do have a couple of items on Section B, Policy Code BCAB, regular meeting. We have on that, the second paragraph, the board shall meet on the second Monday of each month. Then when you go to Section B, BCBA, second paragraph, it says that we meet on the first Monday, so we'll need consistency in the policy.
We ain't met on Monday in I don't know how many years.
And I guess my question is, do we wanna say that, do we wanna specify a date or just say, will be determined?
Yeah, it will be determined. We're not gonna meet on such a specific day.
And then, it'll also be an update on, under board meeting preparations, that last paragraph, where it says when, preparing the agenda, it has on their meeting on the second Monday, so it's just some consistency in wording.
And the very first policy is the, I guess, the mission vision that was adopted in 2014. It's the board discretion if y'all want that change.
It
Was
should
it- was it
reflect our
say-
current mission and vision.
It's the mission and vision from 2014.
If y'all come up with another,
Whatever our new one is, let's put that in there.
Okay,
I will update that.
all right.
all right. So can I get a motion to table for the December policy?
So move.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved by George Evans, seconded by Richard Boggs to table, the December policies. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval of personnel agenda,
I'd like to go into executive session to discuss a couple of things on that, please.
okay?
You wanna take the whole thing, or you wanna just take
Well-
specific ones?
A certain number.
Yeah, I'm looking at number 1, number 3, number 4, and number 10.
You wanna make a motion to?
We'll
approve
make a
it?
motion to,
Approve the rest, or you wanna wait till we come out of executive session and do the whole thing at one time?
yes, we'll do that. Let's get take a motion to take the whole,
I'll make a motion
Agenda.
to, move personnel agenda into executive session.
I second.
it has been moved by Richard Boggs, seconded by Lucia Holmes to move personnel agenda to executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. At this time, we're gonna consider executive session for, the items of discussion will be personnel agenda and board consultant reports. Can I get a motion to move into executive session?
I so move.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Lucia Holmes, seconded by George Evans to move into executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. We'll take a
Short.
quick break.
Real quick.